Hello and welcome to this episode of Stage of the Game. I'm
Oh,
Owen, and joining me today is...
Jessie Field,
Hello.
human on the world. And
And Tony Bender. Hello.
Yes.
My new fancy setup with the manatees behind me.
Yes. The first time that Jessie and
And-
Tony can see one another.
Yeah.
I've never seen him move
Hello.
before. I'm so glad you can.
We're fancy now.
Okay.
So
So-
fancy.
We're going to unfortunately, Jessie, we need to apologize because Tony and I are going to ignore you for just a bit while we talk about Destiny 2,
Don't
which
apologize.
just came out on Tuesday.
Have a good time, kids.
Yes, Tony got the special edition. I did not because that's extra money to spend, which I put towards the Destiny 2 wristwatch because
There you go.
it just happened to coincide that I needed a new watch and Destiny 2 watch was coming out. So I'm like, it works out perfectly for me to excuse to spend more money at GameStop.
Smart. So why don't you tell all the uninformed people like me, what is Destiny 2? What's it about?
What's it about? Well, it's the sequel to Destiny, which is the first game the developers Bungie did after they stopped doing the Halo franchise. So
Got
it was a big to do when the first one came out. The first one was out for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 3 years, and then the sequel. Sequel has been much anticipated. The betas were all open, which is great. And it's coming to PC, which is even
It's a big deal for
it's a big deal.
at least for
And-
PC people.
Yep.
Not-
Not until November, I don't think.
I think it's October
I think
actually.
October, even better. But it's a really big stinking deal. When the pre-orders went live in March, and I actually left work early that day. I lost money to go spend money because
Dedication.
I love the first one. We said in previous podcasts, we did a whole hype episode about Destiny 2. I loved the first one. I played it all the time, and
He's the one who got me into it.
yep. I'm sorry, and you're
Aw.
welcome.
Yeah, I was at McCarter. He found out that I had an Xbox and was like, okay, you need to play Destiny. I was like, okay, no, you need to play Destiny. I was like,
No,
okay.
trust me. And we tried. We
Good
tried to help you.
friends.
Yes.
We tried to help you.
I was too far gone in for the first one because by the time that I always got around, everyone was so far ahead that I couldn't catch up. That's the beauty
Sure.
of being like day one of the Destiny 2. I was like, yes, I'm equal finally.
I'm finally.
Except
Except
for
for
the fact that
This time
Tony,
you're ready.
who has no job currently.
I finished a contract on Friday afternoon, and this came out Tuesday at 11 o'clock. I could not have planned that better if I had actually planned it. So,
My
so
God.
yeah, I've been playing till 3 a.m, waking up, doing human things, and then playing all day. And
I don't get
It's-
that luxury. I have to work.
I beat the story this afternoon around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and it's beautiful. It's really a well done. I forget who said it, but there was a video game reviewer who said Destiny 2 is like Destiny without all the bull crap. Perfect, and it is. It hooks you. The score is beautiful. How often do you comment on the score of a video game and have that come immediately to mind? So it's just, it engages you. It hooks you. It's very, very fun.
Yeah,
So-
I was almost like really the beginning, like the very beginning. I need to look up his name. The voice actor who does the voice of the ghost when he was like partially broken towards the beginning and like they were wandering through the wilderness. Like the way he was speaking, like, I'm so sad. Why am I so sad right now? He did such a good job with it. And
And because this is not spoilers, the whole thing is that humanity has one last big city, and one of the enemies attacks the city and succeeds. So this is at 12:30 a.m. and this is all happening. And I'd played since day one of Destiny 1, and you're just trying to stay alive and trying to stay alive. And they're like, oh no, the city's falling. And I'm sitting here playing my video game like, it's my fault. I need to fight harder. Go, go, go. And I was so emotionally engaged. And that doesn't happen in video games for me. So it's very well done. And I have my qualms with about a few other things, but I like it a lot. So I can go into those qualms if you want.
Sounds amazing.
But it is pretty amazing, and I'm sure like we'll find an episode where we get like your friends back on. We'll go like into full, in-depth conversation about it. But I think we'll wait until at least the first raid comes out,
which is next Wednesday. So they let me know that this afternoon.
Of course they did. I'm sure you guys are already planning your evening.
It'll be time. But anyway, do you?
Okay.
How far are you in it?
I just found Cade. I'm going to look for Ikora.
Cade. This is what Cade looks like. This was a pre-order thing. If you pre-ordered the game, you got a mini Cade.
If you look really closely on the
Adorable.
mine, Cade is right there.
See if you can
Oh, I see it. Oh, I
right
see it.
next to BMO.
Aw. Emo.
Mine is right next to Spider-Man. So it's for anything. But it's worthwhile.
I have no tchotchkes behind me. Here are my Sondheim books.
There you go. That counts.
Works. And I think that's the perfect segue to talk about theater stuff.
Yes.
Theater stuff, because there's a lot going on this week. This is mainly going to be a theater-focused episode because so much theater stuff has happened this week. And then, because if we had the video game-centric one, we would just have been talking about Destiny 2 forever. So
I'm not playing anything else.
So, one big piece of news is the fact that it's officially Bernadette Peters will be taking over as Hello Dolly, replacing Bette Midler. But the thing is, she's replacing both Bette Midler and she's replacing Donna Murphy. Because Donna Murphy. Yes, Bernadette Peters will be doing 8 shows a week.
Because she's a fucking professional.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I didn't get to see Bette Midler, but I've heard she's amazing from everyone else I know who saw it.
Yes, I have heard that. And I'm sure Donna Murphy was also wonderful. Just as I'm sure Bernadette Peters will be wonderful. I really have very little interest in seeing Hello Dolly in terms of like plays I think will change my life. Mm-hmm. Because it won't, but I fucking love Bernadette Peters. Now I'm tempted to try to rush it. Yeah. I've never seen it. I probably should, but like those old golden age sorts of things are not always like they did it. You know where they did it? That I saw it. Owen was at Montgomery High School with Bridget a long time. I can't remember if it was like the teachers doing it or the students. It was after we graduated. We were like in town and we just went and caught it, and it was like the most horrible thing I've ever seen. And all I remember is like
better or worse?
Okay, no, nothing was worse than Charlie's Aunt. That's one of the worst plays I've ever seen.
Story time.
Well, back when we were all unemployed and we were living at home in New Jersey, we were like, let's go see our old high school is doing a production of Charlie's Aunt, which we knew nothing about at the time. But
we were like, no one sees the play. Yeah. We should go out and support them.
And it was so bad. It's like this really dumb farce that this guy who gets mistaken for a woman and blah blah. And I like farce. I like a good farce, but it's not a smart one. It's not smartly written. It's just dumb. And
for starters, you could not understand one word anyone.
Yeah, they were trying to do accents, and like because it's high school, they were like doing way too heavy in some parts, and the sound quality was also really bad. I don't know what was going on with the sound, but the sound was really bad. The set was not well built, and ultimately, what happened? We ended up as it was 3 acts. We left after Act 1. We're like, no way in hell we're doing this for another 2 acts.
And we went straight to a bar.
Well, yeah. What else would you do?
Not even liquor could wipe away.
That's the only show to date that I've ever walked out of.
Oh no!
I don't feel as guilty about it because it was my high school production of it. But I was like, I was gonna like go and talk to the director afterwards, and be like, "Hey, I'm in theater. I'm working in theater professionally now. Look at me." And now I just didn't want to face her after because she would have been like asking me what I thought of the production.
What'd you think?
Yeah.
Well,
The programs were so well printed. Who's doing that now? Wow.
That curtain was beautiful.
Ah, these seats are so comfortable. Okay, bye.
Yeah. But yes,
it was kinder to leave. Truly, it was, because I think we would have started laughing soon, and it would have been like
rude laughing, not forced.
Yes.
No, I'm
just
happy
like
that,
I wish my life would end laughing.
I'm excited that Hello Dolly is going to continue with Bernadette Peters. If I get a chance to see it, I'd really like to. I know Bridget's panicking right now because she knows she'll probably only see it once, but she doesn't know if she wants to see it with Donna Murphy before she leaves.
Donna Murphy or Bernadette Peters.
Because my sister, if she had to pick two people, like two Broadway stars that she loved, it'd probably be between Donna Murphy and Bernadette Peters.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who I'd rather see. It's pretty tight. I've seen them both in other things. I love them both to the moon and back, and I don't know enough about this particular play to
Bernadette Peters.
Really?
Never seen
ever?
Her. Nope.
Wow.
No, I didn't see.
I saw her in
Yes,
Follies, and also I saw her in A Little Night Music. I saw her instead of Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yep, Bridget saw her in Little Night Music as well. I did not see either of those productions. I've seen her in Cinderella with Brandy.
With Brandy. Okay, that movie is fucking sacred.
And I saw her
best Cinderella there is.
Speaking of TV movie musicals, I also technically saw her in Annie.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I haven't watched that in like 100 years.
Say if that counts, then yeah.
Yeah, not the original Annie, the remake of Annie, not like the recent remake of Annie. But yes, that Bernadette Peters was in that, I believe.
So, you're right. No, you're right.
I've
seen her in those
either of them. I haven't seen either of them in anything. Something I'm mad at.
Is, have you seen her in the recording of the original Into the Woods?
No.
Tony, that's what you should watch.
Yeah,
I think it's on YouTube.
It's
amazing. Did you say you really like Into the Woods? And I just dropped
the opposite of that.
Ow. Oh,
I don't. I love.
That's like her favorite musical.
I love Sondheim. I just, for whatever reason, do not enjoy Into the Woods. And
that's honestly
you told me you've never seen a good production of it.
That too. I've never seen a good production. I went and saw the movie with my girlfriend, and she said, "What do you think afterwards?" Because she knew I didn't like it. I said, "It was a neat adaptation of a musical I still don't like." So
I had problems with the movie. Well, yeah. I would recommend watching this version of it with Bernadette Peters. It's lovely. However, not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. You shouldn't feel bad about not liking something or about liking something.
On the Hello Dolly, I wanted to see it for obvious reasons. But I really want to see David Hyde Pierce live too. And
yes,
he's getting replaced.
He's getting replaced with Victor Garber.
Yeah.
From like original Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, so that's cool, but I want to see David Hyde Pierce, mostly because I just finished rewatching Frasier. But I have heard nothing but awesome things about him live. I mean, his Tony performance was kind of like, hey, and now here's David Hyde Pierce.
Well, yeah. How many people at McCarter they would just like gush about David Hyde Pierce? Oh, David Hyde Pierce was this and this and this, and then everyone loves David Hyde Pierce at McCarter Theater.
Yeah, well, that's probably why. Because
he's cool. I like him, but I hated that Tony performance where they just had him sing in front of a curtain. I was like,
so much
could
more.
You try a little harder? Could you give me a taste of what everyone is raving about for the show? Because I don't know what it is. I can't be the show, so it's got to be the talent and the production. No offense to people who love Hello Dolly. I'm just not a golden age sort of let's dance in a line kind of person. I like some plot, I like some emotional connection, or maybe social issues. So it's got to be a stunning production. So could we have seen that for a minute? Please.
Just a little.
I was just waiting for the curtain to open, and then it just ended, and I was like, what are you?
The Tonys this year were so lackluster. We've talked about that, but I was like, okay. I mean, his performance, could have been so much more, but I was like, that's enough to make me want to be like, you know what? I kind of want to go see him. I want to see him live.
No, I
see
thought
what
he
that's
did a
about.
really great job, but
I mean, it's a good role for him, so it's. But anyway, but yeah, it's a neat little shake-up for. And it is kind of cool to see a feel-good musical, golden oldie, stick around for more than one season. To stick around for a little while longer. I thought the same thing about Fiddler. Was hey, you're not just a once and done for a couple of months here. You're gonna stick around for a little bit, because every once in a while you need a musical that's, you know what, I want to go feel nice. I want to go
about the opposite of that kind of musical. Because not as that other news that came out this week is the London production of Angels in America is coming to Broadway.
Hey, now that I would fucking kill to see.
Yes.
You know, and I've never seen it. I feel like I really, really need to. It's like a gap in my theater education.
I don't know it at all either. So,
but Bridget, Owen, you've been seeing like the movie of it?
I got to see the National Theater Live of both Part 1 and 2 because my parent theater company was showing it. And I got to see it for free.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everything for free.
So it's not something I probably will go see if I got the opportunity to like go and see it. Be like, sure, but it's not probably something I'm going to seek out because I already saw the National Theater Live and I got to see it for free, so I don't want to see it and spend any money. But but to you and Tony and to anyone who's listening, highly, highly, highly recommend going to see it because
What's it about?
It is about the AIDS epidemic in the 80s.
I thought it had something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. I really know so little about this show.
No, it is absolutely beautifully written. I kind of want to go and read it now just because the language of it is so amazing. Everyone in it does an amazing job, especially Andrew Garfield does a good job. Nathan Lane does an outstanding job because I've never seen, outside of this, I'd never seen Nathan Lane do a serious role before. I'd seen him plenty of times doing comedic roles. This is the first time I've seen him do a serious role, and I was so mind blown how good he was.
Yeah, Bridget described his performance in the same way, which I would fucking love to see. It's so fun when you see somebody play against type, like somebody you feel like you know really well because you see them in a bunch of things, and then to watch them do something totally different. Like, it reminds you why you shouldn't put people into boxes, especially not great actors.
Of course, I like watching the National Theater Live productions. I'm always just like, oh my god, their stage is so big and they have all these lights and these are things that like my theater will never do.
I want these things.
Can I have them?
Like, we don't even have a backstage, really. We don't have a fly system in my theater. We can't do these things.
I know.
What I would do for a fly system? Oh my god!
I was telling you guys, I just got a job as an usher for Roundabout Theater Company, and like it's a chill job, and like it was an easy interview because they were like, "Can you usher?" And I was like, "Yes." They were like, "Amazing," but but it was just like walking down that street to Broadway, and then like going into this big ass theater and being like, "I'm gonna work here. My interview is here in New York City," and so even though I'm just an usher, I was like. The theater is so fancy. I'm like a cog in the wheels that make it work now. It's exciting because, normally we're like, wow, 80 seats. My God. Whew. 6 lights. Color me impressed. So it's cool to like have stuff, even though I won't be involved in production at all. But like I'll be so near to it. Mm-hmm. And I get a free tie. P.S. Someone's going to have to teach me how to tie a tie, guys.
You should have been in chorus. Well, you should have been a guy in chorus. Girls did not have to wear ties. That's how
ties are the worst. I had to wear a tie every day from 6th grade until I graduated high school. So I only wear ties to weddings and funerals. That's my new rule. So
I'm gonna wear one to work every day.
It's awful. Yeah, I got a big fat neck. Like I'm like feeling it just talking about ties.
You wore one to the McCarter Gala. I think that was the last time I saw you.
I had to wear a suit. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to learn a new skill. Although, it seems weird. It looks like a noose, but like it's cool.
I'm a rocket. But yes, we can't recommend Angels in America enough. Even though the productions that I saw were upwards of 4.5 hours long each, and there's part 1 and part 2.
That will not pass here. I really don't think they're gonna have to do something about that here, because no one's gonna do that. No one's gonna sit through that in America, I don't think.
I will. I'll be the first person in line to sit through that.
Actually, there were like 5 of us at the the showings. At part 1.
Do you know how it works, like in playing? Like, do you see? Is it every other day they do 1 and 2, or is it like a run of 1 and then a run of 2?
I'm guessing it's every other day.
Because that's fun for me. I think that'd be fun to be like, ooh, I have theater tickets for 2 nights of enjoyment. Although I wonder if you can be free to go 2 nights in a row, could you like catch it later? Probably. The people just see part 2. Be like weird.
If people saw just part 2, there'd be a lot of confusion.
A lot of questions. Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, that is exciting though. That's especially if they bring a lot of that cast over. And
yeah, there's only one person who's not coming over from the original London, and I can't remember who it is, but
it's not Nathan Lane.
It's not
Nathan Lane's coming.
It's not Andrew Garfield.
The 2 people.
So it's fine. Be fine.
Very cool.
So,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to try to see it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Another thing that's coming to Broadway that was just announced is Aaron Sorkin's new adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Which I just learned about today from Owen when he was briefing us on what we'd be talking about, which is so exciting.
Yeah, that's an all you thing, Owen.
I found about this on Playbill today while I was reading the article about Bernadette Peters coming to. I was like, and look at this other thing that's happened. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What? So, everyone here should probably know Aaron Sorkin, mainly a TV movie writer. He worked on A Few Good Men. He won the Oscar for, I believe. He also wrote West Wing.
Good shit.
West Wing. He wrote The Newsroom for HBO, which is my connection to Aaron Sorkin because of working with Jeff Daniels. I got to hold Jeff Daniels' Emmy that he won for the show. But Aaron Sorkin is a very talented writer and is a well-respected writer within like the entertainment industry. But it's interesting. I do not know if he's worked on straight theater before. It's something I'd have to look up. But it's going to be interesting seeing how he brings his style of writing to the stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not as an original piece, but as an adaptation of like a very classic novel, to which like many of us, myself included, I'm like very fond of it. I loved it when I was younger. I wanted to be a lawyer because Atticus Finch fought for what was right. Also Henry Drummond. But then I did not want to be a lawyer anymore.
Well, you had a dog named Scout, so.
Yeah, from To Kill a Mockingbird. It's true. So I love this story. I have not read the sequel because it scares me. And I don't want to tarnish those memories. But it's important to a lot of people, so there's going to be a lot of scrutiny. And I don't think it's the first play about To Kill a Mockingbird. In fact, I had a friend from California who was just in a production of it, which I did not get to see because I'm not in California anymore. But yeah, so I wonder how that happened. How do you get the rights for that? And what's the demand?
I'm pretty sure she's dead.
Well,
yeah.
Recently,
right?
Within the past 5 years, definitely. Yeah.
But I'm guessing you have to go through her estate.
Estate, yeah.
Although I'm not sure if the stage adaptation was being worked on before or after she died. It has to be something we look up. Yeah. But I didn't prepare well enough for this show because I got off work and just wanted to go take a little nap before I got here. So.
How dare you?
Yeah, she only died last year.
Was it really? Jeez.
So yes, then.
Yeah. So yeah, I was probably discussed with her.
It had to have been. Yeah. So this will be interesting to see. There's a lot of things. There's going to be a lot coming to Broadway this season. That's going to be really. It's a lot of big names shows that people are very familiar with are coming to Broadway shows this season. So this will add to one of them, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays.
Absolutely.
I'd probably not being something I go see initially. I'd have to hear about how it is first.
Sure. And it's nice though to have a couple plays coming out that we're interested in, because plays are
It's
so much
always-
easier to get than musicals.
And it's always musicals.
Yeah,
that I'm, especially me. That's what I'm excited to go see. But there's plays that I want to go see now, so it's neat. I've only seen one
fun.
Broadway play
Mhm.
ever. Now that I think of it,
Really, what play is it?
I saw Front Page last Thanksgiving, and that was because of the big names that are in it. I knew nothing about the story, and Nathan Lane, John Goodman, John Slattery, were the headliners, and it looked like, oh, let's take all these really good actors who are kind of bored right before Christmas, and
Here you are.
And it was really fun. It was in 3 acts, so all of my non-theater friends or family, not my family, was with me. We're like, wait, that's a thing? It's theater is in more than 2 acts? I was like, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yes, it does.
Don't
Sometimes
take your
it
family to go
naturally
see
falls.
Angels in America. They won't do it.
No, they probably will not. So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes plays really surprise you. I rushed a couple weeks ago Doll's House Part 2, like just on a whim because I wanted to watch something, and I was there, and so I tried and I got tickets, and I thought it was fucking amazing. The acting was so stellar, and all they did was monologue at me, and like I could not have been any more engrossed if I tried. I like rooted for everyone. I was so, and it's just a play that one of my friends described it like as a dissertation in disguise. But like it's so well disguised that I had a great time. Maybe it's because I've worked on A Doll's House, the Henrik Ibsen one, before, so I knew it well. So like inside jokes, but I think it really held up on its own. I'm always shocked by how much I enjoy straight plays. Although I'm a musical kind of kid at heart, but it's always fun when you go to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Broadway knows what it's about. I wonder if it isn't harder too to like get a play to Broadway, because
I'm sure. Thinking financially, it's going to be okay. Well, who do you have to star in it? Who can we bill? Is I'm sure the first question.
But at the same time, it's a lot
cheaper.
less money to produce.
Yeah.
Also true. So you've got to sort of
so
weigh
you got
that.
to balance. Yeah, like while the play is going to cost less, it's going to need to be something big to get people in.
It's going to cost less, but you still
but a musical
may not have an audience.
Money, but doesn't.
And I just feel like I've seen musicals that like lack substance in a really important way. Like I saw War Paint, and like it didn't hold up to me as like a script. Like the performances were amazing and the production was amazing, but like as a script, I was like, isn't there more you could have tried? Like, how does everyone keep ending up in the same restaurant, like next to each other? Like, really? Like, are we sure? And like, what is it about? Like, it keeps switching. And when I saw Doll's House Part 2, or when I saw a long time ago, The Importance of Being Earnest, like those productions are so tight. And so like every word is intentional, and it just feels like it's harder to get a play all the way. Your Son's the Prophet that I saw with you, Owen,
yes.
and more likelies, 2 or more likelies. All the likelies?
I believe we were all there.
I think it was all the likelies.
And funny thing, we saw that because Joanne Gleason was in it.
Joanne Gleason was in it.
That was the reason you guys saw it. You dragged us to it because Bridget and Jessie wanted to go see it because Joanna Gleason was in, who was the original Baker's wife in Into the Woods.
And we looped back into the woods.
They dragged me along because it was like, we're going to go into the city and see a show. I'm like, okay, I'll go see a show. It was off Broadway. Roundabout wasn't that much.
I
The
think
writer for that.
I think it was through Roundabout, and we used HipTix and got our $25 tickets.
Yes.
That's the way to do it, really.
The little do we know at the time, the playwright for that, Stephen Karam, he ended up really becoming like, he's probably my favorite modern playwright at this point, because I've really loved Sons of the Prophet. It's probably one of my favorite productions I've seen in a while. And then I ended up seeing, because I liked Sons of the Prophet so much, I ended up going to see his new play, The Humans, when it was still off Broadway and in previews, because I'm like, I know nothing about the show, but I really liked Sons of the Prophet. I'll go see this because it was previews around about $20. It's like, I'll go see a show for $20. Stephen Karam.
Hey.
And it ended up winning the Tony for Best Play. Absolutely beautiful production. The Humans, really amazing play. He is an excellent writer, so take a chance on a play. That's all I
Yeah,
can say.
absolutely. Because at least you know more than you did before. I say if you ever have an opportunity to like affordably see something, go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how it's going to change you. I had no idea about Doll's House Part 2 and I thought it was incredible. Like it changed me. Or I saw Indecent. That's my favorite play of all time now. I was like literally I could not speak for like 2 hours after it and I like hysterically sobbed through the curtain call like a psychopath. Like some play, I agree. Always take a chance on a play because if it made it to Broadway, like they're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
Go find out what.
Yeah, if it made it to Broadway, it's definitely worthwhile in some way. So,
And great deals, amazing deals on plays.
usually.
Rush them. There are always seats. When I saw Importance of Being Earnest with Bridget a million years ago, we were in like the back mezzanine with our cheap hip tick seats, but nobody came, and the ushers were like, if you want to sit in the front of the mezzanine, no one's coming. So, and we were like, hell yeah. So we just moved up and had like bitchin' seats.
Yeah. But
There-
yep, go see theater. Pretty much, that's all we could say.
Yeah, go see theater.
Go see theater. I like it.
Do it. I like it too.
We're gonna start wrapping this up because we're about a half hour at this point. But
God, time flies on these things, I'll tell you.
want to end off on last points, swing it back around to video games because we talk a lot. It's been a theater heavy episode. There was a group that I follow on Facebook. That's a fan page for another thing, and someone was doing a poll about what's the video game that you've put the most hours into, and it got me thinking because I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, but I'd like to go into do some research. I couldn't get all the numbers because I mainly play on Xbox, and my Xbox One records all those numbers, but my Xbox 360 didn't. And so I don't have the hard numbers from Left 4 Dead 2, which is, without a doubt, the game that I put the most hours into. So I wanted to come in with a set number of, like, this is how many hours I put in. But I don't have that number, unfortunately. But
if only we had
Left 4 Dead
access
2.
to the stats of our life.
Yes. Definitely would be Left 4 Dead 2. Put so many hours into that, just playing with friends, playing alone. That's probably it. Like, it's a game that I can play with friends and play alone, and that's what it holds up so well for me. And it has zombies, so what's not to like?
Way up your alley.
I figured this would be something we would know. It's a game that everyone would probably know off the top of their heads right away. So, go ahead.
You can go. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I know Jessie's.
Well, and I was thinking when you asked me this question beforehand, the answer to me was obviously Dragon Age because I've sunk like 1 million hours into Dragon Age and I've played it through multiple times and have done like every side quest, especially the most recent time. But I was wondering if it wouldn't be like a Zelda game. Would you count like all Zelda games as one? Because if that's true, it would be that. And if it was just one, I would say I replayed Ocarina of Time probably like 25 times, but now it's really easy to beat. So like I don't know how many hours
quicker.
that's been. Yeah, but I've been playing it since I was like a child, like a really dumb child who couldn't beat the fucking water temple. So I wonder if like that didn't add up because Dragon Age is very recent. That temple fucking sucks.
It's the worst.
It's
It is the
worst.
absolute worst.
Oh my god, and I can't
The guy-
remember where those switches are. I mean to
Ever.
change the levels. And like you're always missing like one thing, like one small key is back in like low water level, and then you have to go through everything again, and I don't remember it. Ugh, the worst. Everything else in that game is amazing. Oh, except for the intro where you're like Navy and you're like flying around and you have to sit through that every time you want to replay it. That sucks. But aside from that, it's a brilliant game that I love very much. So it's either Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time from sheer like accumulation over the years of my life, or definitely Dragon Age, which is my favorite game forever, and I have played it for many, many, many hours late into many, many, many evenings with no regrets.
So I'm interested to hear yours, Tony, because I think I have a guess as to what yours would be, but there's a number that could be.
Many. There's a number that it could be. The only one I have a finite number. I was looking really quick, and you saw my eyes wander, or my screen change. Civ 5.
I thought it was going to be a Civilization game.
Civ 6 is catching up, but Civ 5, I have 700 and Hold on, let's find it again. 731 hours playing it.
Dang, son.
So
How many days is that?
I'm not doing that math,
Me
but
Fuck that shit.
735 divided by 24.
really quick, Owen.
Make it happen, Owen. Make it
Make
happen.
it happen.
30 and a half days.
Like, come on.
A little over
Okay,
30 and a half days.
Straight.
Yes.
Oh, that's so that's probably it. I did play a lot of Destiny 1.
You could probably pull up, no, because I know you can't pull up those numbers. Because
I did play it on 360.
Yeah.
I started on 360. And if you want to talk cumulative, as a franchise, Pokemon, definitely.
Hey.
I still play that, and my DS is over there, and it's on. Okay. I don't know why, but it's because I was playing Pokemon earlier. I know why. It's there's that, but definitely Civ 5, because that came out my freshman year of college. So every time I was in a boring gen ed class I didn't care about, I'd pull up my laptop and play Civ. So a lot of times in the radio station, when I was on the radio in college, I'd be playing that while broadcasting, because you couldn't. I was like, okay, here I'm talking, and here's a song, Civ. So and go back to it. So I love a good strategy game, and it's designed to make you waste time in it, just a little, but it's totally worth it.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole point of Civ is to be a time dumpster. XCOM is also very good, both 1 and 2, for the same reasons. XCOM is really, really rough because, hold on, let me look. XCOM 2 has 84 hours in it. So
decent,
but it's not. It's
not 700.
Well, what
Couple of days.
What does XCOM 1 have? Hold on. I have my Steam library up. XCOM Enemy Unknown has 133 hours. So, I love a good strategy game. XCOM is a very dangerous thing because you get to name all your soldiers. So, it's the only strategy game
Don't
I'm really
name after your
defensive.
friends, because then you get attached.
Exactly. It's the only strategy game I'm really defensive about, because I name these soldiers after my friends and I don't want them to die.
You're like, no!
Oh, instead, no!
I did that! I should have saved you!
I'm so sorry, Owen.
I've done that before, and I've texted friends like, I was responsible for your death, sorry, and they have no idea what the context is.
Oregon Trail? I remember always doing that for Oregon Trail. Sorry, Owen, you have dysentery. Sorry you got bitten by a snake, and somehow now you're dead. Should have cocked the wagon.
Oregon Trail, oh my god. I haven't thought about that game ever either.
Those were the days.
The gold.
That was like the best shit when I was a kid. That was like fucking a good time. I'd love to start out with like 14 grandfather clocks, like that don't do anything but like exist really heavily in your cart, and there's no room for food. That makes it a real challenge.
God, I think I remember. I'm piecing the memory back together. The first time I beat Oregon Trail and how excited I was. Like, I did it! I never have to do this again! Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oy. But yes, Civ.
Okay.
I recommend it. I still need to play online against my friends because they're like, you play this all the time. Are you any good? It's like, well, yeah, let me prove it to you. No.
That's a great fucking game. I loved that game. I'm not even sure which number I played when I was younger, but I definitely put a lot of hours into it. And loved naming my towns ridiculous things and starting wars for my own amusement.
Exactly.
Like you do.
You.
Just because I feel like I can.
See, that's why I don't like those games. I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm playing God.
you kind of are.
Yeah.
But not as much as
too real. Like now I probably couldn't. Now I'd be like, I'm gonna get a science victory because that feels good.
It's still not as playing God as the Age of Empires games, because that's much more small based as opposed to the macro of Civ. So your units are right there. You're looking right at them. It's as opposed to I've got a city over here, a city over there, and there's a few armies here and there, but so.
Yeah, you don't really feel like you're killing people. You're just like changing the color of the city, and like my city has more culture anyway, and like they'd probably be happier being ruled by me.
Your people would like me more anyway. I'm gonna take it
for your own good. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for talking today.
Thank you,
we'll
Owen.
get Morgan back eventually when
she's like over there.
She's here.
Yeah, she's in tech, so she just got back like very shortly ago, and it kind of sounds like she's on the phone, but I can't tell because I'm looking at you guys. But her show opens on Saturday, Pericles, and I heard it has a lightsaber in it, so I'm kind of really excited to see it. Yeah. I was like, just one? And then she cryptically said, well, they have other weapons too. And I was like, okay, so I'm definitely seeing it. Have some questions.
That's enough to get me to go see it. So.
Right? Literally, a lightsaber, I'm there. Also, I'm obligated because Morgan is my human friend. But aside from that.
Wasn't enough to get either of you guys to come see Mamma Mia.
Nope. Nope.
But Bridget really wants us to come up and see, what's the one you're doing with the ice cream that Laura Benanti was in? She loves me. Yes. Yeah. Bridget has already been like, you should see that.
That's going to be in the winter, though I highly recommend coming up to see Sex with Strangers if you can, which is the show.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see that.
What a weird phrase out of context.
It works.
It's a Sex with Strangers. Okay.
Yeah, I had to drive actors to a sexy photo shoot this weekend. That was fun.
Hey. Life in theater.
I was just like, I hope this is the closest thing I ever get to working on a porn shoot, but who knows?
You never know.
You really don't.
Ugh. And on that note, I think we should cut it.
Right. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm not sure what's going to happen with next week because next week I go into tech.
Oh, God.
So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be able to do a episode without me. Who knows?
I can't imagine that's true.
But
look, a cat.
Kitty.
Look, a cat.
On that note, thanks everyone. See you next week.
Hey.
Bye.